自在导航，出发吧。
Dear visitors, welcome aboard. For your safety, please remain seated while the shuttle is moving. A gentle reminder that consumption of food and drinks is not allowed on the shuttle. Thank you. Welcome on board the Garden Cruiser. During your audio tour, you will see the main attractions of Bay South Garden. The area here is the Golden Garden. Take a closer look at the Supertrees and plants surrounding you. You will notice plants selected for their splendid gold-hued foliage and flowers. This is Singapore's latest horticultural wonder, a project that began with an international design competition in 2006 and opened in 2012. You are now in Bay South Garden, home of the spectacular Supertrees, cool conservatories, and much more. Towering in front is one of two cooled conservatories, the Cloud Forests. This cool, moist conservatory is 65 meters tall and home to one of Singapore's tallest indoor waterfalls. Look through its glass shell and you will notice elevated walkways winding round the man-made mountain inside. They are covered in mist every 2 hours, replicating the cool, moist climate of tropical high-elevation areas such as Mount Kinabalu. This controlled climate is perfect for growing unique plants on the man-made mountain. Approaching on your right is the Sun Pavilion. It houses a rich collection of cacti, the most recognizable plant family in the desert. Up ahead is the Far East Organization Children's Garden, covering 1 hectare of undulating terrain. The nature-themed play area features a toddler's play zone, rainforest tree houses, and a water play experience. The Children's Garden is designed to inspire children of all ages to foster an affinity for nature together with their families. You are now entering the Waterfront Walk, which connects Bay South to Bay East via Marina Barrage, Hanyu. Across Marina Reservoir, you will see Bay East, the second of 3 gardens of Gardens by the Bay. Bay East is open 24 hours daily, offering a superb view of the city skyline along its waterfront promenade. Back here at Bay South, proudly fronting the Marina Reservoir, are its 2-star attractions, the Cloud Forest to your left and the Flower Dome up ahead. Marvels of architecture, their design is dictated by light. Look into the conservatories and you will see no pillars inside, as these cast shadows which limit plant growth. Instead, a grid shell is anchored by rows of external arches. This structure allows sunlight in any time of day, which promotes plant photosynthesis. The giant grid shell supports thousands of glass panels. These panels are treated to maximize sunlight penetration while keeping the heat out.
Garden by the Bay.
To your left, the Flower Dome features plants from the 5 continents of the world, bringing you into the cool, dry climate of the Mediterranean and semi-arid subtropical regions. The air inside is specially cooled and desiccated to match the climate these plants are native to, allowing them to thrive and burst into color. Some of the trees in the Flower Dome are remarkable specimens of nature, like the giant baobabs, also called overturned trees. The Mediterranean olive trees have survived a remarkably long passage of time. They are estimated to be about 1,000 years old. Also tucked away in this quiet corner is the Silver Garden, coming up ahead on your right. This rentable event space is named after the silvery colored plants growing on and around its tree supertrees. Catch a glimpse of the Dragonfly Lake on the right, part of the sustainable water system in the gardens. The Dragonfly Lake forms a waterfront along other attractions and developments at Marina South, with a promenade planted with scented plants. Rainwater runoff is cleaned by filter beds of semi-aquatic plants, and the water collected in the lakes is then used to irrigate the plants around the gardens. There is a 440-meter boardwalk designed to stroll or jog along. The Marina Reservoir and 2 lakes surround Bay South, providing irrigation for plants and a cool respite for visitors. The reed bed to your right acts as a natural eco-filter to cleanse water from rain runoff. The reeds help improve the lake's water quality by absorbing excess nitrogen and phosphorus. You are now entering the Heritage Gardens, which showcases the plants that occupy a special place in the history and culture of Singapore's main ethnic groups. Welcome to the Indian Garden. Can you spot the national tree of India here? It's right in the middle of the Indian Garden, the banyan tree, also called the Bengal fig. With its tangle of roots and branches, the banyan symbolizes eternal life for Hindus. Plants, and especially trees, have huge cultural and religious significance for the Indians. In front of you, a circular opening in the wall welcomes you into the Chinese garden. This is called a moon gate, a feature found in traditional Chinese gardens and represents a full moon. For the Chinese, a garden is a reproduction of the natural environment. That's why features like ponds and boulders are common in classical Chinese gardens. A rock represents a mountain, and water stands for rivers and waterfalls.
And ate.
You are entering the Malay Garden, the third of the Heritage Gardens. The timber structure coming up on the right is an example of a traditional village residence known as a kampong house. There are many food plants here used by the Malays, such as pandan and the breadfruit trees on your right. Check out the mighty super trees on the left. You will see the 22-meter-high OCBC Skyway suspended from the taller super trees. This aerial walkway offers a panoramic view of Bay South and the surrounding Marina Bay area. Vertical gardens of epiphytes and flowering climbers adorn the trunks of the super trees. At 7:45 and 8:45 every evening, the Super Tree Grove serves an audio-visual treat, the Garden Rhapsody, a spectacular light and sound show that will captivate your senses. The last of the Heritage Gardens is a horticultural representation of Singapore's colonial past. The frangipani, with its white flowers, were chosen to match the black and white houses of the early British planters in Singapore.
Masama pa yun.
Important cash crops they brought in the
Baby.
1800s are featured here. To the right are the Brazilian rubber trees and African oil palm. You are now leaving the Heritage Gardens, one of the 2 themed gardens at Bay South. We hope you have enjoyed learning about Singapore's culture and heritage through the plants you have just seen. You are approaching a stupendous white baby sculpture called Planet by British artist Mark Quinn. The sculpture's surroundings reflect the white theme of the colonial garden. It is the most significant of the many sculptures around the gardens, which include water buffaloes, horses, and dragonflies. Singapore's location on the equator bestows upon it perpetual summer and high rainfall, and rich flora and fauna. These are the threads that have been woven to create a city in nature. Gardens by the Bay epitomizes this vision through community event spaces such as the Meadow. You are now making your way into the Meadow, a living green space in the heart of the new downtown. This is the largest gardens event venue in Singapore, able to accommodate 15,000 people. For better acoustics, you will notice that the concert space is shaped like a bowl. On days when there are no concerts, the Meadow is a wide open space in the middle of the city for friends and family to come together, run around, or have a picnic.
Social ng piknikan nila.
Look to the right and you will see a grove of kaya trees. These have stood here even before the construction of Bay South. The old trees have been retained for their nostalgic value and to provide shade for the meadow. The gardens and skyscrapers you see around you have been built on reclaimed land. In a way, Gardens by the Bay is actually made from small pieces from all over Singapore. The soil material used here has been recycled from different construction sites around Singapore, such as Marina Bay Sands and Resorts World Sentosa. Try to imagine a world without plants. It's impossible. Without plants, there would be no life on the planet. 6 gardens in the world of plants ahead of us focus on the role of plants in our ecosystem. Do you know which were the first plants that colonized the surface of the earth? In the Discovery Garden, you will learn how plant life began. Ferns and mosses were the first plants that appeared on land 500 million years ago. If you see what looks like tree trunks lying on the ground, they are actually petrified wood, ancient trees fossilized
Ito,
through
mga ganun.
time.
Yung mga unang lang.
The topiary sculptures in front depict the native animals of the rainforest, such as the orangutan, rhinoceros beetle, and hornbill. Topiary sculptures require constant pruning to maintain their form. These sculptures are made out of the curtain's bake. The animals showcased here are closely linked to the flowering, fruiting, and dispersal of the fish.
Armadillo.
This is the Fruits and Flowers Garden. Pollinated flowers develop into fruits with seeds. The fruits of the cannonball trees on your left and right expel their seeds when they explode on impact, giving the tree its name. Plants and trees also reproduce by dispersing seeds through wind, water, or animals. Not all plants require direct sunlight to flourish. Explore the dark side of the rainforest in the understory garden.
Puon-puon.
Organisms on the forest floor have found ways to survive under low light conditions. Fungi, like the mushroom sculptures you see on your right, help to break up fallen leaves and twigs
Lahi ng mga mushroom,
for
fungus.
vegetation. You are entering the world of plants garden. Common trees are important components of the rainforest. Filling the roots from very top into garden seed, forest with animals. Will plant its leaf for fertilizer, and carwag is made from a Brazilian palm carnivore. Look to your right behind the palm tree, and you will see the energy center, a marvel of sustainable energy. Tons of horticultural waste collected from parks every day is burned to power turbines that help to cool the flower dome in cloud forest. At the Secret Life of Trees Garden, learn all about trees and their wondrous forms. On your left and right, the leaves of the snowflake trees resemble the lattice structure of a snowflake. Baobabs, which you can see in the flower dome later, are nicknamed overturned trees because their branches look like roots growing into the air. And look out for the thorny trunks of the kapok trees on your right. We are now making a stop at Canopy once again. Do get off here to visit the two cool conservatories, which hold a truly global kingdom of plants. They come from every continent except Antarctica.